What's up? It's Rap Sheet Hollywood. We bring you the livest, the freshest commentary in Hollywood, but of course with a hip-hop flair. I'm your host, the incomparable Poop Diesel, and today, we in North Hollywood, and we got an exclusive interview with not only a singer, dancer, personality, choreographer, director, all of the above, singer extraordinaire, Miss Porscha Coleman.
Hello.
How are you? How'd you like my intro?
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna have like a little cue card and sheet, so when everybody introduces me, they can say all of that.
Okay. Because I know you got a lot of titles.
I do.
You do a lot of things.
I do a lot of things, but I love it, so it doesn't feel like work.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful
thing.
Yes.
All right, so we got Miss Porscha Coleman. We want to get right into it.
Okay.
Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Where are you from, and how did you get into this business? Because it seems like you've been having a really dope journey.
Yes.
Through this business.
Thank you. Okay, so where am I from? I don't know why some people don't ever guess where I'm from because they think I'm from the South. For some reason, or New York.
Okay.
But I am from LA.
You from LA?
I am born and raised in the Valley, Sherman Oaks, California.
Okay.
So I'm a native. So this is home, right around here. I was literally born in Van Nuys.
Okay.
Went to Hollywood High School, Millikan Middle School up the block. So I'm a native all day long, and I started acting when I was 7.
7 years old.
7 years old. I did my first little extra job, and after that, it was just all the way up.
All the way up. I love it. So, there's one thing about when you grow up in LA, you're constantly around the Hollywood feel, the Hollywood environment, and, you learn to adapt quickly. So what were some of the things that, made you want to get into the business?
Right. Well, what made me want to get into the business, my aunt and my uncle were actors. So they were doing background work, principal work, and I was always just kind of like a little bubbly girl who just could never sit still and always had a lot of energy. So my aunt was like, maybe you should put her in acting classes. And sure enough, my mom was like, all right, well, let's give it a shot. I went to an acting class, and I did a monologue for a bunch of cast members, and they loved it, and I got an agency on the spot, and I started working right from there. And it was just like, I got addicted to it because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm young, I can get paid to do this? It was like not even $100 back then for like extras.
Right.
It was so cheap, but I was like, wait, I'm out of school and I can get paid to do this? Oh, I'm good. We're gonna stay here.
Let me ask you, so was it Central Casting? What was your first
Central, look, I don't even know if Central was around then. I'm not sure, but I actually had a theatrical agency that gave me extra work. So I forgot what it was named, but my very first theatrical agency was Coast to Coast Talent Agency. So myself, Megan Good, Angel Conwell, a lot of the actress girls in the game, this was the agency to be at for kids. So that's where I was at, and I started working on, I did the Ellen DeGeneres show, I did the Gregory Hines show, NYPD Blue. I mean, everything you could think of, I was doing in junior high school.
Wow. So you got people from all over the world. People come to Hollywood from all over. We got Rap Sheet Hollywood fans all over the world. They come to LA to make it, big in this industry.
Right.
What is something that you would say, as advice? Something that you've learned. So as let's just say you were looking back at your middle-aged self, or middle school
I'm like,
age.
wait, I'm like middle age.
No, you're
I'm
middle
like,
school.
no, I'm not even.
So what kind of advice? What would you give, yourself, a younger you, or anybody else that's kind of in the business or want to be in the business?
I would give the younger me the advice of don't quit, because I never did. And if I look at when I was 7 or 8 till now, it's crazy, and I still have so far to go, and how far I envision my life, my career, my goals, my dreams, and there's so much more ahead. So it's like, even if you come here to think like, I'm coming here with $500 and I'm gonna make it in 2 weeks, no, don't have that mindset or that attitude. Come with the mindset of like, okay, I'm not giving up. Let the chips fall where they may, but I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, and gotta be persistent. And then the right things will come my direction. And you gotta network. Gotta network for sure. That's the key.
And that's one of the things that I have to give you props about. Like, you are a hustler. You work hard. You out here in every medium, every aspect of it. You know how to work the game. So, talk a little bit about your hustle and just, how you've been able to navigate through Hollywood.
Of course. It's all about your relationships. Like, my thing that I always say is, it's not what you know. It's not who you know. It's who knows you. That's the bottom line. It's like, it doesn't matter. I can say, oh yeah, I know Oprah. We met at a party. Yeah, but if Oprah don't know me, then that means nothing. So it's always about what you know, who you know, and if you could utilize that resource. So it's about strategizing. So you know, from me doing videos, you know, as a dancer and choreographer, that's how I came across and got my music video with 3 6 Mafia.
So let's talk about that. How many music videos have you choreographed or have you been in as a principal? Like, talk a little bit about that.
I'm gonna have to write that down one day and actually think. I have not taken account. I have to see how many I've been in, but I'd have to say roughly at least 40. 40. So I have to, because there was at one point when I was on 106 in Park, and it was a dream come true, because I think I'm like the only one to probably ever do this. I was in at least 7 or 8 videos on a 10 video countdown, and then my video also debuted as a new joint of the day. Wow. And I was like, oh my God, am I really in the videos and then actually having myself come out as an artist at the same time? It was surreal. Like, I was always getting phone calls, like people were like, oh, don't go to the audition, Porscha's already there, and nothing you can do. But it was like, it was just another accomplishment that I didn't expect, but I was so happy about, you know, because that's how I met 3 6. I was working with a director, and he was doing their video, and he said, well, let's try to figure out how we can strategize this. You're an artist, let's do some work together. He said, well, why don't I give you guys a video, and why don't we try to strategize this? And next thing you know, it was about the relationship. He did a video for them, then they did my song, and it just was a relationship that just kept building. And you know, to this day, you know, I'll hit up Paul and see Juicy out and be like, what's up? And those are my friends. No different than Busta Rhymes. I ended up getting on a song, and again, it was a video situation. Pitbull I had. I mean, I've worked with some really great people in different increments in time. So it's just a matter of strategizing your relationships and figuring out what you can bring to the table. You know? Yeah.
One of my first times that I really took notice to you, I think, was the Parkers. That was the first time that I kind of started to notice a little bit. What was that experience like for you? You know, being on a sitcom, and it was pretty popular at the time. Monique, you know,
number one show. Parkers.
Talk about that.
Oh my gosh! For all you youngins that don't know, UPN was the network back then.
Not even in existence anymore.
I mean, not even in existence anymore. It was UPN. It was Girlfriends, the Parkers. It was Moesha, Half and Half. Like, they had all the shows on this one network where you just went for black entertainment. So even when I got the audition for the Parkers, it was like, oh my God, this is one of my favorite shows. Like, I loved Countess, I loved Monique, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I had the opportunity to audition as a guest star in a recurring situation on the show. I remember auditioning, and I wasn't nervous, because my thing is that I never get nervous once I'm in the room. It always happens right before. Like, if you're waiting in the audition room and it's taking forever, and I'm like, oh my God, come on. That's when my antsiness starts happening. Sure enough, once I'm in the room, I'm like, okay, I got this. I got this. I'm good. And then you kind of settle in. So I remember when I got the call back, I was like, oh, this is crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then when I was on hold, that's when you know it's something, when they're checking your dates. When they're saying, are you available? What's your schedule looking like? I was like, oh, it's getting close. And sure enough, I got it. And it was like 2 weeks on set with them. It was so fun. Monique is absolutely hysterical. The whole time she was joking and saying, like, we need to get this girl some Roscoe's, we need some meat on her bones, we need all kind of jokes and stuff. That was the funniest thing of all. I'm still good friends with Countess Vaughn, who was on the show. Just saw her a couple months ago. From Ken-El, Dorian Wilson, I'm actually going to be doing, I think, an episode on his show, In the Cut, and Ken-El is on that show too. So it's just like a group of friends that are all still tight-knit and still good people, and I just love it, because that episode still airs all the time, and people see it and they're like, wait a minute, you're the girl that I've been seeing in videos, but wait, I saw you hosting on this show, Amari, but that was you on the Parker. So it's like, I'm always shocking people, and I love that, because it's unexpected, and I feel like if you got the talent, then do it. I mean, you know, from acting to doing choreography, to even being a personality host, you know, like, talk about, you know, some of your hosting. You've done some television in the biggest way, and probably interviewed some of the biggest stars. True.
Talk about that. Like, that's beautiful.
Yeah, hosting is another thing that kind of, even though I always knew I had the personality to be a host, it's like you don't just go host on a major TV show. It doesn't happen that way. But a good friend of mine hit me up and said, hey, Porscha, we're having auditions for an on-air host for 106 in Park. And she's like, you need to come to New York. I can't tell you what the project is, but come to New York. And shout out to Claudia Jean, I love her. And she sent me the info, and I was like, all right, I'm booking a flight. And I had friends and family out there, and I said, can I stay with you guys? It's just an audition. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's see. And I went out and auditioned to be the on-air host, and I got the part. So I would do like little updates on 106 in Park. And then next thing you know, they're like, well, wait, you know sports. Because my other passion is sports. If people follow me, they know. Like,
see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like.
Well, who's your team?
Oh, God. Well, come on. I'm born and raised in LA. It's Lakers. Okay. But it's just not our year. You know, we got some work to do.
Definitely a down year for LeBron and the LA Lakers.
We coming on back. I mean, we got. You know, that's how I look at it. We got so many rings and so many banners and so many championships. You know, we'll let some people have it for a while. But sports is my other love. So they would send me to All-Star Weekend where I had the chance to interview LeBron James, Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony, Chauncey Billups, all kind of athletes that are, you know, a lot of them are still friends to this day. So I think it's, again, another situation of you start something and it just leads into other areas.
Right.
I ended up doing Maury. I got a call from the Maury show. And I was like, I ain't got no baby daddies. I ain't got no kids. What's going on? Why am I getting a call from Maury? And they're like, hey, we saw you on BET. We'd love to have you on as a guest host with Maury. And I was like, what?
Wow.
Who just sits with Maury like to guest host?
Right.
Crazy. And that was another experience that was just mind-blowing and so much fun.
Right.
You know,
so did you have to deal with the ratchets at that point? Like, you know, what was that like?
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to, in a sense, I'm like, I just want to be a fly on the wall, be in the audience when all this, like, you are not the father, and dude is up there dancing and doing his thing.
Right.
But the episodes that I did were actually episodes about shocking videos. So if someone was running down the street and all of a sudden they fell and the car got close to hitting them, anything either funny, shocking, or surprising was the episodes that I did with Maury. So it was all the audience love and interaction. So it was me and other guest celebrity hosts, and it was so much fun. And they called me back 2 or 3 times, and every time they do it, they're like, hey, Porscha, we need you. And then from there, I went back to BET. I hosted Spring Bling. For all y'all that remember, Spring Bling used to be it, right?
Used to be popping. Spring Bling was, all the artists came.
Oh,
was
my
it
God.
In Orlando?
It was always in Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach, right.
The artists would come out, and again, I was always watching it on TV, and then the year they were like, yo, you're gonna host, it was me and Omarion, the guest hosted, and then it was I guess me and somebody else, I think Young Jock was like a guest. It was just so crazy because I'm like, I'm hosting a show that I used to grow up watching. And then they had step shows, people were out there doing their thing, and I'm like, wow, another moment like that I would have never thought that would have happened. So it's kind of like, in a sense, you have to, of course, have a bucket list of stuff, but don't live by your bucket list, because the same thing that I said, oh, I want to do this, I ended up surpassing that by doing other stuff that I couldn't even thought of. So make that a list that you can hold to, but also have another list with a blank piece of paper that's just like, whatever happens is going to happen. Just roll with the flow.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, see, you know, I know another thing for a lot of people when they're kind of choosing their career, you know, a lot of people say, you know, I'm going to go to college or I want to just go full into my my passion. What did you do? What was your thought process?
Of course, my thought process was I did both actually. So, but not after the fact. So when I was 16 years old, I was going to Hollywood High School, and at the end of the semester, you know, I just went to my counselor and you know talked to her, and I'm like, you know, what are my credits looking like? You know, everybody that's in school know you got to know your credits. So I went and I asked her, I was like, what do I have left? And I needed like 2 credits, and I was like, wait. You mean if I would have did extra 2 credits, I probably could have graduated at 16.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh man. So it just so happens that during that summer, I booked a movie role. And I was going to be taping in Utah.
Okay.
So I was like, wow, wait a minute. If I can get these 2 credits ahead of time, I can graduate a whole year early. So sure enough, I was gone for months, and I ended up getting those credits. Came back, went to homeschool, and just got 1 extra one just to really pass it, and next thing you know, I was graduating at 17. But I was also taking college courses while I was in high school. So I think I had the chance to take high school, you know, classes while I was taking college classes, but I never was on campus living the experience of, you know, the college life. But I did do both, and that's how I was able to work as an adult when I was only 16 or 17 years old, which helped me book more work, because a lot of times there's regulations that companies have to stick to when it comes to kids. They can't work a certain hours. They have to be home. They have to only do this much schooling. It's really meticulous for shows that have a lot of children on there. So the fact that I was 16 but I could work as an adult, I was killing the game. I was killing it. So I would always say, depending on what your passion is, it's not that you can't do both. Try if you can. If not, then take online classes, or maybe go to college for 2 years and then say, okay, let me take this time to dedicate to what it is I want to do. You just got to find the balance for what works for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you could do one thing over in your life, what would you think, okay, I would want to change this? What would it be? Just
one
curious.
thing over. You know, the funny thing is that I would say nothing that I would do over.
Okay.
The key thing that I would say is I would do things again. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things where you're like, oh man, that experience was so amazing. You wish you could just stay there and live there.
Is there a career decision or a show or something that you know, when you speak about that?
Yeah,
you would
of course.
I would do another one
I mean,
of
there's some things that I've passed on that I don't regret at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can definitely say. Absolutely, I could dish. I could dish. There was a movie that came out. It was a big comedy movie.
Okay.
And there was a scene basically where the girl was supposed to be like naked, just full blown, like going at it, like, you know, like she's having sex on camera with this star actor.
Okay.
But it was only a very small role.
Right.
And the impression of the character was very much like she's a thought.
Okay.
You know, she comes to a hotel room to get it in, and she out, and they diss her after, and then all kind of stuff happens. So I was just like, yeah, these are big actor names. Damn, this is good, but no, I don't need that.
Yeah.
And then when it came out and I saw it, I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, oh, God.
Glad you
I'm
did.
good, because the scene wasn't even what I read in the initial script.
Oh, really?
It ended up getting cut down. So that happens to actors.
Good.
I've had it happen several times.
Yes.
Like, only like twice in my career can I remember, like, where something was either cut or shortened. But it happens. Like, you're calling your friends, hey, watch me on so-and-so, and the next thing you know, you're like, where did my scene
You're
go?
on the cutting floor somewhere.
Yeah, and it happens for time's sake.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with you as a lot of times as an actor, because you have to remember, you booked the role.
Right.
You were hired. You either flew there or you stayed in LA to do it. So you're qualified to do the job. But they don't realize that in a 30-minute show, it's really 22 minutes because you got commercials. You got credits. You got all this kind of good stuff. So out of that time, they tape a little excess so they can have options of other stuff to shoot.
Right.
But sometimes in an hour show, they overshoot, so then they really end up cutting stuff. So you just have to know that it can happen. So there's certain parts that I passed on. It was a reality show I passed on. It was actually for the E! Network, something that they were trying to do on, you know, Young Hollywood and different stuff. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm on board. This sounds fun. And then the details just weren't lining up. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that they were trying to exploit black actresses versus, you know, uplifting them and saying like, okay, this is what we go through as black actresses. This is where, you know, we all see each other at the same auditions. You know, different stories that you hear. But I'm like, that's the same thing as white actresses. So why are we just specifically singling out a particular race of peoples if we're going through turmoil in a sense? When I'm looking at TV and I'm like, we're winning. You know what I'm saying? We're super winning. So I didn't want to do a show where it showed like the plight and the struggle of black actresses.
See, that's very interesting that you say that.
Yeah.
You know, one of my really good friends is a very well-respected actress, Miss Margaret Avery.
Oh, love her. She worked in my high school.
Oh, really?
Hollywood High School. I love Margaret Avery.
I grew up with her
gosh.
daughter. She's family. I go to the crib. But, you know, one of the things that she shared with me, too, was she really didn't want to talk about the whole struggle of black actresses and like how it kind of got played out after a while. You know, like everybody has this these struggles that you go through in the business, and it is there. It's real, right? But she said she doesn't want to come off as being this bitter, angry woman who is dwelling on that.
Exactly.
Instead, at the age of, you know, I'm not gonna go there, but she's a
age of fabulous.
She's a fabulous age woman. She had to go back and get her Instagram popping. She had to go back and start getting her social media to a point where she can still today, you know, go to auditions, and because of her following, they still see her as being relevant. You know, Mary Jane, you know, all of these other things.
I love her on the show.
But see, that's something that I think, you know, a young actress as yourself, you know, you still have to deal with those same elements.
True.
But you're fighting through it and you're looking past the negative struggles.
You have to. To me, it's more of a struggle to go, let's say, all day when you're running errands, you got to work out, you got to make phone calls, but then you got to figure out like, oh crap, I haven't posted on social media today. Okay, what am I going to post? I'm not going to post that I'm just running errands. Like, that's just kind of like, you know, whatever, but what am I going to post? To me, that's more of a struggle than even going to an audition.
Really?
Because it's like social media now has become such a big part of our culture. I mean, nowadays we'll go to an audition and they'll ask you your number of followers on a casting sheet. And to me, it's like, it's a little ridiculous in a way, because I'm like, so if somebody walks in the door and let's say has 2,000 followers, but they're talented, you're not going to give them the part because someone else has 1.5? That doesn't mean that they're better for the part. It just means that they're more famous or more popular. And popularity doesn't always equate to sales. So it's like, you know, as a network, I get it. They're searching for those people that have the Instagram following. And it's good. It's like, if you could do both, do both. Because people do want to see what you do in the day. You know, a lot of times if I'm leaving a casting, I know some of my biggest rated like posts on Instagram were ones where I was leaving an audition where I had something to say about what happened in the room, or on my way there, what kind of craziness happened. It's like people love the engagement. So do both. It's just taxing sometimes. You're like, oh my God, I'm tired. I don't want to post nothing today. Oh well, forget it. And you're like, oh crap, but you gotta post it to say something. You know, you feel like it. You have to.
So with that being said, how many followers you got?
How many followers? Yeah. I mean, I'm not doing too bad. Like on all the platforms, I'm not too bad. So like on Instagram, I think I'm like 87.5, 87,005. On Twitter, I think I have like 38 or 39,000. Facebook, I have 2 pages. I have my personal page and my fan page. So that's a total, I think, about 30 or 40K. LinkedIn, surprisingly, is like really, really big because I share everything to LinkedIn. I've got like 16,000 fans over there, and who would have thought? Like LinkedIn, at first I was like so weary to post a lot of stuff.
Right, because it's just business. You think, right?
Business.
Yeah.
But then as I start thinking, I'm like, but my business is what I do every day.
Bingo.
So I'm like, wait a minute. If people are gonna add me as a friend, that means they want to see what I'm doing.
Right.
And just because I'm not sitting at a desk job doing something corporate doesn't mean that this is not my job. Me going to an audition dressed however I am is my job.
Wow.
And sure enough, now I get, I mean, thousands, hundreds of, like literally it's crazy. I'm like, wow, like LinkedIn has really become that networking site as well, where you can find legitimate people who are photographers, who are, you know, writers, directors. I get I think I get the most business emails from LinkedIn because it's super legit. You know, Instagram, you know, you ain't sliding DM. You know, I get people sliding into DMs, which is not a problem because I've definitely met a lot of people from there and gained a lot of relationships. But as far as real like business, absolutely LinkedIn. So people, get your LinkedIn popping because it's really a good platform.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, with that being said, you've been a hustler. I really, applaud you first off because I see your grind. Every time I, scroll in the gram, I see what you're doing. I'm like, where she's going up for another audition now, she's got this pop, she got that, and it's dope, because you're a woman, you're about your business, and it's not easy in this business to go out and be proactive and to hit all the spots that you need to hit, network with all the right people. So I want to give you your props. What is next for Miss Porscha Coleman?
What's next? So much is coming up right now. Like I said, I'm doing an episode of In the Cut. I just filmed a show on Bounce TV that came out, a show called Last Call. That was really great. Just did an episode and starring role on that. I played a female comedian, which was super dope. Because for people that don't even know, too, I was on Wild 'N Out. Like I think season 4 or 5, I was a female comedian on the show. So it's like
you got a funny bone in you.
Yeah, People that know me, I'm very silly. Like I'm very like off the cuff, like very like one hitter quitter. Like I'm quick off that. So it was dope just to like play a female comedian on that kind of show because I've done that. But now it's like in another platform. And again, I just got the role that was handed to me. So again, it's about your relationships because I can't even tell you the last stack of jobs that I got that were literally just, hey Porscha, we want to book you for this. And I'm like, thank you. That's good. That feels great when you can, have your face be so recognizable or have such good relationships in Hollywood where they're like, no, we're not going to open this up to the masses. We're just calling you directly because we had this role and we said, no, Porscha's one who we want to see. Or sometimes when they write something for you, that's even better. That happened, a friend of mine, Prentice Penny, who's the showrunner for Insecure. I auditioned for a show that he was doing on the Fuse Network, and I auditioned for one of the lead roles, and came down to me and a couple girls, and I didn't get it. And I was like, damn, that it sucks. I wanted the part. Like 2 weeks later, I got a call like, no, we totally wrote you in. You have a whole separate thing in the show. And I'm like, oh.
Dope. Okay,
that's dope. So again, the advice for everyone is like, what you think is supposed to happen may not always happen. The parts that I know I walked in the room and I killed, didn't hear nothing.
Wow.
Ones where I was like, oh crap, I could have did so much better. I don't know. Hey, you're booked. What?
Yeah.
So you just cannot expect anything in this business, and just be happy and be open to all things and get your relationships together.
Yep.
And hustle, because that's what it's about. You gotta hustle.
Man, Rap She Hollywood, y'all are getting blessed today, getting gems dropped on you from Miss Porscha Coleman. What a lot of people don't know about Porscha is that she is a phenomenal singer.
Thank you.
Amongst all other talents, she is also a phenomenal singer. Let's just talk a little bit about your singing ability.
Of course.
And I want to talk about a song you did called "Love Making Love."
Hilarious.
You got to talk to me a little bit about your singing and this particular song you bodied.
Oh, thank you.
So, talk to us a little bit about your
music is my number one love and passion.
Yeah.
It always has been.
Yeah.
I love acting, I love dancing, I love choreography, but I started singing when I was 2 or 3 years old. Like, my mom has tapes of me in the car seat singing. She has, when I was 5 years old, going to the YMCA, and I did a Janet Jackson song, Miss You Much, and I had a flashlight as my microphone and 2 backup dancers that I choreographed.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally been in me since the day I was able to speak. So music has always been a love and passion. It's like people are going to see and understand even more very soon where I'm coming from on the music side, because again, who would have thought I would have had a song in video with 3 6 Mafia? If you look up, I have a song on YouTube called Switches that I did as well, that I featured on. I have another song I'm doing with a friend of mine named B Slade. I have
went to high school.
Right, see, it's a small world.
Okay.
So it's like I'm featuring on songs, but I also have my own music coming out. So literally in the next few months, it's gonna be out and popping. And then a song, Love Making Love, was a song. Yes,
it's a sultry kind of sexy song.
It's very
that
sexy.
sexy side, that grown side.
You know what I'm saying? You know, when it gets a little late, my voice gets a little raspy and sexy. So I have to channel that. You know what I'm saying? So this song, Love Making Love, shout out to, of course,
what 2.0 music,
Diesel, 2.0 music.
We had to make sure that we connected with her, because I know she's got the talent, man.
Thank
T Nice,
you.
all of us that really helped to produce and get this song.
It was a dope track that myself that I heard this record. I was like, "Ooh, this track is just fire."
Right.
My friend Idris and another friend named Prince, crazy songwriters.
Talented writers.
Yeah, like they were just in a zone, and of course I was just like, I love this song. Like I said, I just said, what do you want me to do?
Yep.
And I just said, okay, let me bring some life to it. And sure enough, that record came to fruition. So there's definitely more records that are in the works for sure, between all of us to get in, get these placements going. Because hello,
that's another part of the business that y'all don't understand. Get songs placed on television, different outlets, even like video games. A lot of the things people don't think about, the ancillary kind of streams of revenue that could come. You don't have to get signed to a big label.
You don't have to. People don't realize, I think, major record labels are incredible. Of course, that's how we know some of the most incredible artists.
True.
That from Michael to Britney, Janet, whoever you want to name, they all had major record deals. But in the way music and entertainment is now, you can really build your own audience organically without having to do that with a label. So you can get placements, you can get commercials. It's like I've been in a ton of commercials, and my goal is to have my own song in the commercial. I'm in a video game right now. I never thought that auditioning for a video game years ago that I didn't book. I didn't get it. I had a call back, did not get it. Years later, I got a call, hey, this company's looking for you. They want to hire you for a voiceover. And I'm like, oh, okay. Next thing you know, I did a voiceover that turned into another voiceover and another in the same game.
Wow.
Then they said, hey, we need you for some VR, for those who don't know, virtual reality. Next thing you know, I was in the black suit, pinpoint, like those things are crazy. Like I felt like LeBron or somebody in the moment, because I'm like, only athletes get to do that fun stuff. Like they're doing 2K and all the video games that you see. Those are real actors.
So did you have your walk
that.
on strong? That's what I need to know. Was your walk game?
Oh my gosh, my walk is crazy.
Runway.
No. See, listen. So this character it's she's playing kind of like an intergalactic. It's not even me. That's the funny thing, is I'm obviously the body and the voice of it.
Right.
But it's in a different world. I'll just say that it's a whole different world that I'm in, and just to even see on the screen after I did it, to watch the playback of what it's gonna be, it's next level. Like right now, if you guys get the Anthem video game, I am the narrator.
The Anthem video game as well?
Yes.
I mean, you got so much going on. Please, just tell us a little bit, about the video game.
Yeah, of course.
On top of everything else.
Crazy. Anthem is out now. I mean, they were previewing it during the All-Star game.
Wow.
I mean, it's previewing nonstop. It's by BioWare, and I'm the narrator in the video game. So as soon as it starts and you pop it in a world full of so that's me.
That's dope.
It's crazy that I'm a character in the video game as well. When you're playing and once you pass certain levels, I'm one of the characters that you cross paths with. No, it doesn't look like me in there, but it's another character that looks like somebody else, but that is my voice. So I'm just happy that I was open enough to take everything in and just say, okay, yes, I could do that. I was doing dialects when I was a kid, doing act country and Valley Girl to salsa, anything you can think of. I was always just trying vocally. As a singer, you just try different stuff and you're trying different tones. And to know that I'm in a video game is just one of the elements that it's just more to come. I got way more to come.
Man, well look, Rap She Hollywood, we definitely just want to big up our sister, you know, definitely show some support, cause we love what you're doing, and your hustle is immaculate. So keep that going. Let us know where we can find you, the social media. Give us your handle.
So y'all can stalk me legally at Porscha Coleman, Porscha Coleman. That's for Twitter, that's for Facebook, that's for Instagram, LinkedIn, MySpace, maybe. I have to see if I can still log in, but maybe there too. But yeah, those are all my sites.
Dope. So with that being said, maybe you could take us out, you know, a little shout out to our Rap She Hollywood fans. You know what it is.
You know how we do. What up, y'all? It's your girl Porscha Coleman, and you're watching Rap She Hollywood. Holla.
We out.